Court documents allege that sex tapes were taken of Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, and Sir Richard Branson by Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, this shit's about to get juicy. Now, just to be clear, we haven't got the full list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients yet, as they slowly but surely drip feed this like a Kanye West album. But we've got a lot of names that Jeffrey Epstein liaised with and whatever else he was getting up to, and we're going to go through some of them today. Now, generally, when you're filming sex, you're probably thinking, let's film something that looks good, right? I can't think of three people I'd least want to watch having sex than those three ugly, horrible, wretched human beings.
Why is Branson a wretched human being?
Well, I mean, it's the trains, isn't it? It's fucking every week I'm fucking moaning about Virgin. I think that's LNER, actually. I don't actually know. I'm just assuming it's all Branson's fault. Maybe I'm wrong. But he's just another knobhead billionaire. Just a quick recap. For those who don't know, Jeffrey Epstein is what looks to have been a pimp for the rich and powerful, and in turn, he used, this pedo island that he'd bought with all of his money that he'd amassed from very strange means, and allowed these men and women, it seems, to come on the island and do whatever the hell they wanted. Since then, he was caught and he died by hanging, of which all the security cameras mysteriously didn't work. There was a million different things that went wrong that day to allow for his death to take place, and in turn make absolutely sure that he never testified against the rich and powerful people he was friends with. And now we're finding out who those people were. It doesn't automatically prove that the people on the list had done bad things, but when I read them out, I'll let you do the math, but I will help you with some of the working out, like a teacher. And just so you know, when they first began investigating Epstein, federal officials had identified 36 girls, some as young as 14, who Epstein had been allegedly sexually abusing. Since then, it's gone bigger and bigger. But remember, what we're reading now is the tip of the iceberg, and there's a lot more names to come. Obviously, you've got Bill and Hillary Clinton, couples who pedo together, stay together apparently. Hillary's been sweeping all of this man's noncery under the rug for decades, it seems. I mean, it's one of the worst kept secrets in politics. And actually, if you look at Joe Biden and the way he goes on with young women, it's rife among politicians for some reason. Oh, Michael Jackson. Imagine my shock. I'm sure he was just going for a little holiday, just topping up his tan. Not how it works when you've got... He used to bleach his skin, didn't he? That doesn't really check out. Probably nonsense. I mean, he was expected. Famous pedos. I mean, he's top of the list. Just looking into the history of Michael Jackson as it happens, because a lot of people sort of act like, it was just one of those things, kids trying to get money out of him. I mean, it happens all the time, right? No, actually it doesn't. 40-odd-year-old men don't admit to sleeping with prepubescent boys on a daily basis, and people just pass it off as normal. That usually only happens once in history, and with a guy who happened to sell a hell of a lot of records that people loved. So the first accuser of Michael was in 1993. Second accuser was the maid's son. Third was a British teenager, also in 1993. Busy year for him. Fourth accuser was a cancer patient, another young boy, who was in hospital at the time, and apparently Michael sent him a basket full of toys. This is where he began visiting the Neverland Ranch and having sleepovers with Michael Jackson, which is a lot of where the testimony of the staff who worked at Neverland were like, yeah, this was fucking bizarre. And this is where you hear about Jesus juice, where he'd mix wine and coke to get them intoxicated. Gavin was 13 and openly discussed the sleeping arrangements while holding hands with Michael Jackson in the documentary.
Is it really appropriate for a 44-year-old man to share a bedroom with a child who is not related to him at all?
That's a beautiful thing.
That's not a worrying thing?
Why should it be worrying? Who's the criminal?
Perfectly normal behaviour. The fifth accuser came later, Wade Robson, who'd previously denied any wrongdoing, supported Michael Jackson, later said, look, I was in love with him and I was under his spell, which is classic behaviour in people who've been groomed. And then the sixth accuser was a child actor. Both of these guys tell very similar stories, that he would make them bend over, show their buttholes, while Michael Jackson had a wank. I'm saying this the way I'm saying it deliberately, because I'm sick of people acting like these people do no wrong because they loved Man in the Mirror. It was a good tune. Lightning might not strike twice, but it certainly doesn't strike 6 times, does it? Maybe he learned his lesson about going with fans and decided to go through Jeffrey Epstein as someone who would provide a safety space where he could do whatever the f*** he wanted on this island. Or maybe he just wanted a holiday. David Copperfield, bloody good magician. Magician's one of the oldest hiders for pedos, isn't it, really? Put your hand in my hat. Come and feel this rabbit. Ooh, lost all its hair because it's all scared of you. Bloody stiff as anything. It's quite scared, isn't it? That's a Ricky Gervais line, I've got to admit. I am disappointed, Can't lie. Thought Copperfield was better than that. Leonardo DiCaprio. No. Loved Wolf of Wall Street.
Was all this legal?
Titanic's actually pretty good as well. And this is the thing about DiCaprio, is he's always sort of named and shamed as this guy who only dates women who are half his age. It looks terrible. I don't want this to be true. He got on the Lolita Express. Do you know why it's called that? The Lolita Express got its name after a book written in 1955 about a professor who becomes sexually obsessed with his 12-year-old stepdaughter. The clue is in the name. It's not really much of a clue, is it? It might as well just have a fucking massive sign on the fucking side of the plane going, "We're a bunch of fucking pedos." I hope this one doesn't get demonetized, but it probably will. But that's the risk I take for you lot. The truth is more important to me than money, for the most part. Like, unless I'm asked to promote something, and then it's whatever, really. And now, a word from our sponsors. So I get messages every week from people saying to me, "Geordie, how the hell is your beard so on point?" And let me tell you, as above, so below. I'm a goddamn walking masterpiece. And as much as I'd love to take all the credit, it all goes to Manscaped, baby. They're the kings of male grooming. And the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra by Manscaped is every man's cheat code to look good, feel good, and make 2024 your sharpest year yet. It's more than just a trimmer. It's equipped with 2 skin-safe blade heads, a standard one for taking a little off the top, and a new foil blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires. Lads, this will have your ballsack looking like a fucking mirror. And that's a good thing, because women love mirrors. You can do our makeup in it. Did I mention it's waterproof? You can trim in the shower if you want. This basically makes even the dumbest men able to accomplish the greatest of things. And if you want to fully kit yourself out for 2024, then look no further than the Performance Package 5.0. You get the trusted lawnmower, Manscaped's ear and nose hair trimmer, an essential aftercare product with the Crop Soother and Crop Preserver, deodorant for your balls. Think that isn't necessary? You probably stink. You also get the Boxers 2.0 and the Shed 2.0 toiletry bag, which is actually great if you're traveling. It's literally perfect. I use it all the time. So let's face it, New Year's resolutions, they come and go. But a good looking set of crown jewels is here to stay permanently. And you can get yours now by clicking the link in the description below. Use my code TRUE, that's TRUE, at checkout, which will get you 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. The good thing that gives us a bit of hope about DiCaprio's involvement is he's only mentioned once in hundreds and hundreds of pages, and apparently even a witness denies ever meeting the stars. It's still not great, but he's a lot less involved in what we can tell than these big major power players in government. For example, Bill Clinton is just cover to fucking cover. He's the main character. DiCaprio, ironically, for this one, is just an extra. Oh, Stephen Hawking, who wasn't on the list. I used to learn about that bloke in high school. Thought he was a genius. To be fair, I mean, he still is clever. I'm not taking that away from him. Smart as a dart, isn't he? But taints it for me. Apparently, it was just there for a science conference. Could you not have a science conference somewhere local? Why go to a pedo island? Now, there is the possibility he was taken against his will, because officially, if he doesn't want to do something, what's he going to do? Do you know what I mean? He can't push back. This might not be his thinking. He's typing the whole time, "Get me out of here." People are like, "Oh, he loves it." They've set him on mute. His wife's like, "Oh, don't worry, he's loving it." He might have hated the whole thing. Now, there is a rumour going around on social media that he was into little people. Is it dwarfs? Dwarfs. That is a fetish out there. Every now and then it'll crop up in the search bar and you're like, whoa. Didn't realise people were into that. Hawking probably had an advantage on us all because he was always online. So he was just probably sick of browsing, found it one day and thought, what's on? You know what I mean? I might as well have a little ganders. And then he goes to Epstein's Island and Epstein goes, "I can get you anything you want." He went, "Anything?" "Well, have I got a mission for you, mate?" In that little voice box thing that he had. He didn't say it like me, obviously.
Till I can get my
Imagine it.
satisfaction.
Kevin Spacey, well, that was expected. I'd have been disappointed if he wasn't on there. The guy's a card-carrying sex pest. A bloody good actor, though. House of Cards was fantastic. And that's the annoying thing. So many of these people are really talented. But this is a mark on their name, I'm afraid. And George Lucas, you can get it too. I don't care if you made Star Wars. It's fucking shite now anyway. "Oh, we're going to push back on stereotypes and have a female lead role." Oh, that's just what we need. We want male Jedis swinging lasers at each other. We don't need women in combat in Star Wars. Do you know what I mean? Make them look pretty. Give us a princess to save. It's a formula that works. And that's before I get into you being a fucking nonce. Gutted. To be fair, the last lass who played a female Jedi was pretty good, but it didn't make sense. She got too good too quick. Naomi Campbell, she's just weird. She's been weird for years. She probably was just like, if they're rich and powerful, I'll come along and have a watch. She's been clout chasing from day one. Oh, no. Christmas is never going to be the same again. Bruce Willis. The only thing about Bruce is he might not even remember this because he's got that thing going on anyway. It's like Men in Black with the flashy thing here. It's gone. I really don't want to believe he did it. I love Die Hard, but if you lot have got to sacrifice Man in the Mirror, I'll stop watching Die Hard. Is it a German fella? I'll be wanting him to win when I watch it back. Throw him out the building. Chris Tucker. If only his last name rhymed with something.
It's like a child fucker.
Exactly, that was the point. Women, they just don't get that highbrow banter. Well, he was best mates with Michael Jackson, so probably did everything together, didn't they? Which probably explains why he can't get a role for Love Nor Money now in Hollywood. It's been a long time. Why all of a sudden did Chris Tucker stop doing movies? He was funny. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is on the list. He's obviously trying to go for an election right now in America. He's trying to drum up all the interest he can. This is a bad look. You're fucked. Although most of the politicians are doing it, so can't really knock him for it, really. Name a politician that isn't on here, for fuck's sake. Just seen Cameron Diaz has also been listed. Devastating. She was the one in this whole entire list that when I was a teenager, I would have wanted her to touch us. Not anymore. Nah, not now. I mean, I really had a thing for her when she wore that black and white dress and the mask. Smoke show. But now we see the true her. Now, just to be absolutely clear, everything I've said up till now was a joke, and that everyone named in this list could easily be innocent, probably are innocent, in fact, and probably have done nothing wrong. So in an ideal scenario for this rich and famous group of people who've been associating with Epstein behind closed doors, this would have seen Ghislaine Maxwell take the fall, Epstein dead, he can't testify, Ghislaine spends 20 years in jail to life, and the case is closed. But due to the nature of what has been going on, it is absolutely imperative that these names are out there in the public, because these are people who will have access to young people, especially as powerful as a lot of these people are, and we, the public, need to know, could the children of people around them be in danger? The fact that this is even a thing shows how deeply corrupt the justice system is to start off with, and the fact that it's taken as long as it is, for me, it's a joke. This should be out there now, and yet it's staggering. It's taken fucking forever. We've only got, I mean, there's thousands of pages out there, don't get me wrong, but there's so many more thousands to come. So this is going to get worse and worse and worse the more that we find out. I've got no doubt about it. And we all know we'll never find out the truth, like the real truth. We'll never know just how bad it was. But the tip of the iceberg is enough to fucking terrify people. And these are the most rich and famous and powerful people in society. And the more you learn, the more you realize, like, all of these conspiracy theorists out there who've been claiming that this shit was going on for years. Okay, they get stuff wrong, but fuck me, they were spot on about this shit. So that was the update on the Epstein list. No doubt loads more names will come out. I'll do a little reaction to each time we get anything significant. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you make of this whole situation? The fact that it's clearly one of the biggest cover-ups of our time. Don't forget to hit that like button. Stay subscribed to the True Geordie YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.